Hello everyone and good morning all the students of 7th standard. Yesterday we learned information about Mughal empires, how they establish, how they form their rule, means their government, their empire in our country, and the ruler of the Mughal empire. Baburs came there after the Babur, Humayun, then Akbar, Shah Jahan's, their informations. Last one, the Aurangzeb, how he found or how he set up his empire. Now, next one point, that is Maharana Pratap. Next point of the same lesson, Maharana Pratap. After the death of Uday Singh, Maharana Pratap ascended the throne of Mewar. When Uday Singh was died, after the death of Uday Singh, Maharana Pratap, he was ascended on the throne of the Mewar, means he became the king or the ruler of the Mewar dynasty. He continued the struggle of Mewar's existence when he became the emperor, when he became the king or the ruler of Mewar regions or empire. Then he continued the same policy which was continued by his ancestors. That policy he continued to be keep safe and independence of Mewar. That policy he started, that means Mewar should not be going under any another power's control. That till the very end he struggled with the Akbars to maintain his independence. Along with that, Maharana Pratap of Mewar, he struggled against the Akbar there to maintain, to keep alive his independence. For the purpose he fought against Emperor Akbar. There was a lot of battle between the Akbar and Maharana Pratap, and Maharana Pratap he struggled, he fought against Akbar there to keep his own independence, to be keep his kingdom safe, free from other ruler. He has become immortal in history due to his qualities of valor. So in the history of Mewar, Maharana Pratap became immortal. He became a famous in the history of Mewar and also in the history of India this, due to his quality or due to his valorness. He was one of the brave, violent king this. So due to his valorness, due to his braveness and his qualities, he became immortal in the history. Along with that, he had the quality of courage, self-respect and sacrifice. These qualities are more in numbers in him. So he was full of all these qualities of valorness, qualities of courage, self-respect and also along with that sacrifice. He had the feelings, strong determinations to sacrifice, to do something for his own kingdom. So these qualities are there. So due to that, or due to these qualities, he became immortal in the history of Mewar. Next one point, that is Chand Bibi. The Mughals attacked Ahmednagar, the capital of Nizam Shahi's kingdom. Mughal emperor, they attack on Ahmednagar. Now Ahmednagar is the capital of Nizam Shahi. Nizam Shahi, they ruled the Ahmednagar region. That how these powers came into being exist, that we learned. Bahmani kingdom was disintegrated into the small 5 powers. Among that, Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar is also one. So Ahmednagar is the capital of Nizam Shah's kingdom. Mughal attack on Ahmednagar in the year 1595. Mughal army put the fort of Ahmednagar under the siege. So in the year 1595, Mughals army, they laid down the siege to the Mughal Ahmednagar fort. They attacked and they laid the siege to the Ahmednagar fort. Chand Bibi, the capable daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar, bravely defended the fort. Chand Bibi, she was the daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah, and she successfully, bravely she defended the fort. She fought against the Mughals. Mughal laid the siege to the Ahmednagar fort. Chand Bibi, she was the daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar, daughter of the girl. she defended the Ahmednagar fort. Bravely she defended Ahmednagar fort. At this time there was an internal strife among the Sardar, among the fractions of the Sardar in the Nizam Shah's kingdom. She was defending, she was fighting, but what happened there at the time? At the same time, there was a fractionism increase in the Nizam Shah's kingdom, that in their Sardar. Groupism started in the Sardars of Nizam Shah's kingdom, and this resulted the murder of Chand Bibis. That resulted the murder of the Chand Bibi. Chand Bibi was murdered in the Nizam Shah's kingdom. Daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah, she was killed by her own Sardar. Later the Mughal captures the fort of Ahmednagar. So when she died, when she murdered, when she killed, then later on Mughal they captured the Ahmednagar kingdom. So why the fractionism started? Because bigot it means a short-minded person, that at that time those were the Sardar in the Nizam Shah's court or in his empire, that kingdom, they did not like that women should be ruled, women should be dominate on them, girls should be dominant on them. So due to that there was a fractionism started, groupism started, that resulted into the murder of Chand Bibi. So after the Mughals could not bring the entire kingdom of Nizam Shah under their control, they captured, she was murdered, she was killed, but then also Mughals they could not capture entire Nizam Shahi's kingdom under their control. They tried, but they were not successful in their attempt. They tried more that to be look after that, to control, to conquer all the territory, but they were not successful in their attempt. They could not control, they could not capture all that regions in their own control. So after that, next one, that is Rani Durgavati. Gondwana can be broadly said to be compromised the eastern part of Vidarbha. Gondwana, it is into the eastern part of the Vidarbha region there. The eastern part of Vidarbha, some part of Madhya Pradesh to its north, and the western part of today's Chhattisgarh, northern part of Andhra Pradesh, and the western part of Odisha. These region of the area was under control of Gondwana or Rani Durgavati's control. That Vidarbha, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh or Andhra Pradesh or some part of the Odisha. That Durgavati, born in the dynasty of Chandel Rajput, became the queen of Gondwana when she was married there. So what is the history? Durgavati, she was born in the dynasty Chandel Rajput. Durgavati, born in the dynasty Chandel Rajput, and became the queen of Gondwana when she married. Then she became the queen. She was an excellent administrator. She was one of the able administrators. She has a good knowledge of the skills to be handled to look after the kingdom or empire. The struggle of Gondwana queen Durgavati against the Mughals is also important in the medieval history. So the struggle of Gondwana dynasties against the Mughals for their own independence, it is also important in the medieval history. After her husband's death, Durgavati laid down her life while fighting against the Akbar. When her husband was died, after the death of her husband, she laid down her life while fighting against the Akbar, but she could not surrender that. But she did not surrender in front of the Akbar. So the struggle of Durgavati is also important or noteworthy. If you not have the textbook, then I am sending the photocopy of this topic, today's topic, that you read and try to understand. Thank you.